Alright guys, it is time! Almost time. Roughly 8 or 9 minutes left, but mostly time for E3! Nintendo Spotlight! Yay! And that sort of thing. So, let me see here, bring up my notes here. So, apparently this Nintendo Direct will only be 25 minutes long, but it will be a rapid-fire Direct, kind of like the ARMS and Splatoon Direct from a few months back. And it will primarily focus on the Switch, so even though it's 25 minutes long, we should still get a lot of news. So, before this Direct starts, I'm going to go ahead and give my rapid-fire prediction and hopes for this little event here. First off, we know that Super Mario Odyssey will be demonstrated at this E3. I want to see them reveal a new world, and I want them to explain that Crazy Cap store. Also, I assume we'll also be told what it is that we're collecting in this game. Like, is it stars? It's probably stars. Next, third-party support. If this is rapid-fire news, we'll probably see plenty of it. The question is, how much third-party support will be indie games, and how much will be big third-party companies like Capcom? I'm really hoping we see some big IPs hitting the Switch, like Resident Evil and Call of Duty. I feel like Nintendo will need these big IPs in order for the Switch to be successful. I'd especially love to see Red Dead Redemption 2 announced, but it's unlikely, and besides that, this Direct primarily focuses on games getting released this year, and I think Red Dead 2 was delayed until next year. By the way, I don't mind that this Direct only features games releasing this year. I figure that Azar next January we'll probably get a special event like we did this past January. Next, Pikmin 4 and Metroid. Maybe. I want to see Pikmin 4 announced so that people who are afraid of Hey Pikmin on the 3DS will shut up. On the flip side, I don't want to see Metroid because I don't think Nintendo knows what to do with it anymore. That said, I do want to see F-Zero, but I don't think that's happening. And I do not want to see Smash, because this early in the game, it would probably just be a port to Smash 4, and I like Brawl better. Mario and Raving Rabbids will probably be glossed over, since Ubisoft already presented it at their conference. I want to see Pokémon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon announced as a multi-platform title for the 3DS and the Switch. But that's probably wishful thinking. I don't have a 3DS, by the way. Said it before, and I'm saying it again, just for you don't know. For those of you who don't know, I don't have a 3DS, so that's why I was really hoping that it would be on Switch. But I was disappointed. Paper Mario! It won't happen. We already got a tactical RPG coming, we don't need another one. Even if it's not technical. Nintendo Online Service. Hopefully we'll get some information on it. I especially want to know about that app and Splatoon 2. If it turns out that that app is required to play with my friends in Splatoon 2, I will not get it. I do not want to be tethered to my smartphone when I'm playing games in my own house. On the go, sure, but in my own house, no. Virtual Console and the new Classic Collection thing. Maybe we'll get some more information on these, but I don't expect to. If we do get some more information, I want to see GameCube games handled somehow, especially Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door. And I want to see the return of non-Nintendo consoles like the Sega consoles and the TurboGrafx 16. I also don't want to pay for the same Virtual Console games again. We should be able to transfer them to the Switch for free. Super Mario Maker 2. I don't think it'll happen this year, but I still want to see it. I do not want a port of Mario Maker 1, because we need a new Mario Maker with new level themes and new power-ups. Also, it needs to bring back Warped. Xenoblade 2 will be shown off, and will probably have a release date. Seiken Densetsu Collection. It contains Final Fantasy Adventure, Secret of Mana, and Secret of Mana 2. Mana 2 was never released outside Japan, so it would be really cool if this collection was brought to us. Lastly, I want to see the Disney Afternoon Collection on the Switch. These were originally Nintendo games, and so far they're not being put on the Nintendo system. So those are my predictions for this Direct. As a side note, I'm going to make a couple of 3DS predictions for the Treehouse event. Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga Remake will be announced for the 3DS. I kinda would prefer it to be on the Switch because, like I said, I don't have a 3DS, but that's just wishful thinking. And I'm hoping that RPG Maker Fez gets some attention in the Treehouse because that would be really cool to see an RPG Maker get attention in a Nintendo event. By the way, I will not react to the Treehouse stuff because I do not feel like recording hours and hours worth of reaction videos. However, I will be watching the Treehouse, and after it's over, I will see about putting together a video or two expressing my thoughts on what I saw. I haven't completely figured out what I'll do, but I want to do something. No promises. Alright, that's everything out of the way. Now let's go ahead and wait for this to get started. And by the way, as this gets started up, I want to bring up my method of reacting. Again, for those of you not aware, I'm going to probably be pausing here and there to comment on stuff so that I don't miss anything important while I'm giving my thoughts. Oh, and we got a countdown. Kinda like the January event. This one's significantly shorter. But, okay. Click. Of course we gotta have the live action footage. Because Nintendo does a lot of that. Not just the Pokémon company, but Nintendo in general. Okay, some sort of racing game. Oh, okay, cool. That's a good one to have. I forget what it's called, but it's a good one to have. I think it was already announced though. But still. That's cool. Now let's see a big E3 title going on here. There's Pokémon Tournament. I'm still looking forward to that. I know a lot of people were disappointed that it's a port, but I'm looking forward to it. FIFA, I heard that it is missing the single-player story campaign. That's a bummer, but whatever, I guess. It's dumb. It is dumb. Splatoon 2. I better be able to play with my friends without that app. Oh, and this will be the end of the opening. Rocket League, that's right. How could I forget the title of that? Because it's a cool title. Rocket League. Nifty.
The game is fun. The game is a battle. If it's not fun, why bother? If it's not a battle, where's the fun? It's a test that you pass, or a quest that you fail. A race against time. Fun and battle always locked together. But the game is also something else. It's a journey, a passport to new worlds. Maybe even an Odyssey. A look, a feel, an exploration.
Mario Odyssey.
Close your focus and open your mind.
Open world.
Yes, the journey requires the right ticket. And that ticket is Nintendo Switch. But in the end, it's not just where you can take your game. It's where your game can take you.
And I thought that room was weird. Real. I thought it was real.
Story goes that when the world was
Monolith Soft. Okay, Xenoblade 2.
all rest lived on the
I haven't played either of the previous Xenoblade games, but they look cool. They're like massive in scope.
You're a blade.
As the driver of the Aegis, can you take me to Elysium?
I'm in. Let's go to Elysium. I'll take you there myself. Pyra!
Here!
If I'm not supposed to understand anything that is like a reference or a carryover from the previous games, I'm obviously not going to know what it is. What is that little critter in his backpack there?
We'll show you. We'll show you what me and Pyra are made of. Take this!
Cool trailer.
Come this far, there can be no turning back. You and that sword can't be! I'm guessing your home is Elysium.
Oh boy, that's a thing. Alright, gameplay footage. The cinematics are always cool, but you always want to see actual gameplay footage in these.
Our flames hide something deeper.
What's the matter? Are you the Aegis, or aren't you?
I won't use that power, and I won't let you use it either!
If you know what you desire, you will have to show it. Not with words, but with your own strength. Everyone, let's go!
Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And how does Xenoblade Chronicles X fit into this? First look. Ooh boy.
Sometimes you need a hero. A swordsmith, fire wielding, stone cold hero with an insatiable appetite.
Kirby? Yep, Kirby. I mean, that's cool. Yay, the water power returns. This better not be a port of Return to Dreamland. I don't think it... No, this is definitely new. Oh, okay. So we can actually get friends again. So it's kind of like a little bit of Superstar. That's cool. Was that power combination? That almost seemed like power combo. I think there is. Because we had two different ice attacks there. There was like an ice bomb and then an ice ski sort of thing. Okay. Yes, I'm done with this. Some sort of world map. Wispy Woos, of course. But just because he's in the game doesn't mean that it's going to be just a generic fight, because the fight in Return to Dreamland certainly surprised me. I actually got my reaction to that on camera. I did a let's try of it.
Hi everyone, I'm Shinya Takahashi from Nintendo. I hope you've been enjoying the journey with Nintendo Switch so far. When I found out that Nintendo Switch is being accepted by video game fans from all over the world as a home console that could be taken with you anywhere, I felt so relieved.
So did I.
Take Switch outside, come together, and share the experience. This idea was how we hoped people would play with Nintendo Switch. But people are coming up with many creative ways to play, in all kinds of places, in many more ways than we expected.
Really?
This summer, Nintendo
Examples?
and third-party partners will release many multiplayer games that can be played anytime, anywhere, and with anyone. We hope there will be many heated competitions that will be ignited by Nintendo Switch. Now, we'll continue our look at even more new game worlds for Nintendo Switch. But before we do, there is one announcement we'd like to share from our very special friend. Please take a look.
Is it a new game? It's Pokemon.
Hi everyone, I'm Tsunekaze Ishihara from the Pokemon Just the other day, we announced that Pokken Tournament Deluxe is coming to Nintendo Switch.
Mm-hmm.
This is the latest version of the premier Pokemon fighting game. Two people can dive right into battle using two Joy-Con controllers. So you can experience heated Pokemon battles with just one Nintendo Switch console.
Uh-huh. Get to the announcement.
Fresh additions, including new Pokemon, and this deluxe version of the game will be on display at E3 for attendees to play.
I hope that's not the announcement.
I have one more announcement.
Okay.
Game Freak has begun developing a core RPG Pokemon title on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah!
It may not release for more than a year, but we hope you'll look forward to
I am-
all the same.
I am sad.
In the
I am sad that it turns out that we're not getting Sun and Moon in any form on the Switch, because I really wanted to play that, especially being that Growlithe is obtainable near the start. That hasn't happened since Gold and Silver. No, not even Gold and Silver. Crystal. It was only the Crystal version, and that is not releasing on the eShop. So it's been years since that opportunity has come up, and I missed out. And it bums me because Growlithe is my favorite.
meantime, let's enjoy this year's E3.
That said, the fact that they are working on a core Pokemon game for the Switch is essentially a death knell for the 3DS. That basically means that, yes, the 3DS is on its way out. Nintendo Switch will be the one and only console of Nintendo's, and that makes me so happy, because I can just buy the Switch and not worry about missing out on the games from the other thing that I didn't buy. That is victory! Yes! Makes me so happy! Ah!
Ishihara-san, thank you very much. We heard that the Pokemon series is being developed for Nintendo Switch. What kind of Pokemon game will we be able to play on Nintendo Switch? I'm looking forward to it myself. At this year's E3, we're mostly showing games that will be released in 2017. But please know that here at Nintendo, we're working on many forms of entertainment that can only be made possible on Nintendo Switch. We hope you look forward to them as well.
Okay, on that note, are we going to see games with, like, waggle controls and using the IR sensor? Because aside from using the waggle to move the camera around and aim your bow and arrow and guns in games, they are really underused, especially that IR sensor. Hopefully we'll see something regarding those, without it being too gimmicky, like 1-2 Switch.
Now let's continue on with the journey with Nintendo Switch.
I was looking at the chat and I saw somebody mention Animal Crossing. Was that somebody hoping for it, or... Oh, this is Metroid. Calling it now, this is Metroid. Yep, this is Metroid. I think. 4? Metroid Prime 4? It is! Oh my goodness! You can't hear the music in the recording because I got it lowered, but yeah, that was Metroid Prime music. Oh my goodness! That is going to make so many people happy. I know I said I didn't care if Nintendo made another Metroid game, but if it's actually Metroid Prime 4, then they're actually doing it right. So I take it back. That is cool. Alright, first look. What else we got here? Oh boy, this is turning out to be cool. But still needs to have some... Yoshi Woolly World 2. Or maybe Yoshi Styrofoam... what? Okay. It looks 3D, but it... knockout courses any way you choose. Okay. Interesting. So it looks to be somewhat of a 2D platformer, but with foreground and background stuff going on. What is that? Oh, that looks interesting. It occurs to me that I completely lost my train of thought over something, and I don't know what I was talking about, but that's okay, we'll just talk about this. I have Yoshi's Woolly World. I have not actually beaten the first world yet. I should really get to that. Okay, there's some more of that co-op action going on. These are totally not wool characters. We're still using the whole situation of, like, this is handmade, but it's more like cardboard and styrofoam now. Still kind of cool. Okay, Fire Emblem Heroes. Warriors, heroes, warriors. Like Hyrule Warriors. That is totally what this is, I think.
We're under attack!
Mother's in danger.
Yep, that's what it is. Just by looking at these characters. This is totally Fire Emblem. I actually forgot about Fire Emblem Warriors who have appeared from other worlds. Yep, that is totally Fire Emblem Warriors
I
then.
am Marth, the Prince of Altea. We've come here to save you.
Welcome back, Marth.
Remember that you can rely on your friends. We're with you.
Get it together, you two. If you can't do this, who can?
If this is being shown here, that means this game is definitely releasing this year.
Can't do.
Come to think of it, that means Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is releasing this year.
All right, let's move out.
Working together.
They didn't give a release date, though. In fact, we haven't seen any release dates yet. Come to think of it, this is supposed to be games releasing this year, but at the same time, they talked about that Pokémon game, which is obviously not going to be happening this year, and then Metroid Prime 4, they couldn't even show off any footage of the game, also not happening this year. So that means that these games are not necessarily guaranteed to release this year. Most of them will, though. Oh, and there's a release date. I spoke too soon.
Hi there, I'm the Legend of Zelda series producer, Eiji Aonuma. You may have already heard about it during Bethesda's showcase that was held a few days ago. It was announced that select Zelda items will appear in the Nintendo Switch version of Skyrim. I'm really looking forward to exploring Skyrim with the Master Sword in hand. Oh, when did this Master Sword get in my hand?
That thing is redonkulous.
Next up, we'll take a look.
Oh my goodness, look at the size of that. Is that how big swords normally are? I feel like they would be a little bit smaller. Okay, sure. In regards to that Skyrim thing, yeah, that was kind of discussed in another event, and I didn't watch that event, so I didn't find out about it until later. And, well, I don't really care anyway, because it's Skyrim. I'm not interested in Elder Scrolls. Just so you know.
Look at the DLC packs for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Oh, okay.
Let us take you on a new Hyrule adventure.
Yes, show us what we're dealing with. What are we paying for? Is this going to be the summer pack or the winter pack? Okay, it's the summer pack. Because the summer pack has the Trial of the Sword. Yeah, that's right. This is part of the DLC, and this trial thing, a go through 100 rooms sort of thing. Although it's certainly looking a lot more complicated than the Cave of 100 Trials in, like, Twilight Princess. We got actual dungeon rooms to get through. That's actually cool. And at the end of it, you would eventually get an upgrade for your Master Sword. Okay, that actually looks like it's worth it now. Tingle armor. My gosh. Master mode. The fact that hard mode you have to pay for it is kind of dumb. However, it also adds extra content in regards to, like, new enemy types, and of course that balloon situation where those guys popped up, those are new. So I don't mind that hard mode is something in the DLC. I'm so undecided whether I'll actually get this game, because super ultra open world games, I tend to get lost in the exploration and never make any actual progress. This still looks like it would be a fun world to explore. Especially regarding some of the characters. Though at the same time, I heard that the characters in the game are kind of bland compared to most Zelda games, so who knows? Not me. The Champion's Ballad. Okay, so that was a teaser for the other pack. Cool. It's too bad that you can't just choose what DLC you want. You have to go all in, and that's unfortunate. It is so weird seeing the Wii U logo.
I have one more announcement that I'd like to share. The 4 champions that appeared in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild will be available as amiibo. The Zora champion, Mipha. The Goron champion, Daruk.
Of course we're going to have more
The Rito
amiibo.
champion, Rivali.
I'm kind of glad that they're keeping that up, actually. It's a neat concept. They still haven't fully used them to their full potential. But they're interesting, and I don't want to see them go away yet.
This changes the game. Travel the world.
That is not real.
Play anywhere with anyone. If video gaming is a journey, then anywhere has to include a stop right here in LA during E3. This is Magic Week, where booths buzz and channels glow, where the game worlds you've heard about suddenly spring into life. And this summer, the new kind of heated competition ignites right on Nintendo Switch. It kicks off later today with the Splatoon 2 World Inkling Invitational, which brings teams from the Americas, Europe,
It's cool that they have these tournament things going on, esports.
Tomorrow,
I'm not really into esports, but that's definitely cool.
you might recognize some of our 8 competitors who'll be duking it out in heated battles. Later on Wednesday, we'll see 8 players throw punches in the fun and competitive game ARMS, which launches later this week. 4 of our players will be pros, and the other 4 will be E3 attendees who rise to the top by battling on the show floor. If you're going to E3, we hope you'll accept the challenge.
I will say
No matter where
this.
you are, be sure to
The
catch
fact
up
that these events are going to be going on
at E3.
means that I'll have time to get to editing this video as well as whatever I do with the treehouse.
But now, there are a few more worlds left to visit on our journey before we land in the booth. Let's go.
Oh, it's almost over. Okay, yep. Kind of figured they'd show a little bit of this.
Ubisoft is proud to announce its new Rabbids game, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, and it will be developed exclusively for the Nintendo Switch. The Rabbids' crazy personalities and unpredictable behavior will shine.
Got new
as
footage.
they arrive in a reimagined and twisted mushroom.
As a reminder to anybody who hasn't seen it, I just uploaded earlier today a reaction video to Ubisoft's E3 conference, specifically the Rabbids part, so definitely check that out if you have the time.
They will surprise you in this tactical adventure, filled with combat.
Glad we're getting new footage for this.
Mario
Oh, and there's some puzzle action. A generic puzzle,
joins
but
them in an epic
cool.
to put the kingdom back in order. We can't wait for you to
Okay, what was he shooting at that was inside the well? Is that going to be something to consider in combat?
play the game on August 29th.
That thing is disturbing, but still kind of funny. What's this? Sonic? No. Oh. Rocket League. A section devoted to Rocket League. With Mario tie-in. Another release date.
On behalf of everyone here at Psyonix, we're extremely excited to announce that Rocket League is indeed coming to Nintendo Switch. We know that both the Rocket League and Switch communities have wanted it, and now we're going to release it, complete with cross-network support that lets you play against opponents on other platforms.
The Switch version will have all the features and modes we've released thus far, plus exclusives like local wireless multiplayer, Mario and Luigi hats for customizing your car, and new exclusive cards we'll talk about later this year.
Look for Rocket League on Nintendo Switch this holiday.
Alright. Wasn't a whole lot to say there. Okay. What's next? Monster Hunter. That is not a pleasant view. Can we have a different view, please? That's better. What? What? Hold on, what? Okay. Well, we're seeing new worlds. Cool. Oh, an evil hat. Or was it? Oh, we're seeing the hats! We're seeing hats! I just realized we're seeing new hats! Okay, that looks cool. That was a new attack. What? What just happened? What? 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 Yes! I am down with this! Oh my goodness! Mario is possessing enemies! This is better than power-ups! And of course there is the sombrero thing. I'm gonna have fun watching the analysis that Game Explained does. Oh my goodness, all those hats! Okay, we have to slow-mo that. We have to slow-mo that. Where was it? I'll just start from here. Speed, slow-mo that. Okay. Oh, alright, so all of those hats that were in display in front of the Crazy Cat store in the Mexican level, those apparently are hats that you can trade in. What they do, don't know, but we definitely have the Safari. We have the Chef. Cool. We have... We have Charging Chuck Mario. Oh, that looks like it'll be so fun. Oh my goodness, I am more excited for this game now than I thought I could be. Oh, making your own tower? Did he just put what? What? Oh my goodness, he's gonna be human and it. Yes. And a release date. What is that? October 27th? Yes. I will make sure that I have a Switch before the end of the year. If I can't get it myself, I'll just put it on my Christmas list. Along with this game. Oh my goodness. That was cool! Oh, is that it then? Alright. yeah, that was it. So after this, they're going to move on to the Treehouse event. In fact, there it is right there. Again, I'm not going to react to the Treehouse, but I'm going to go ahead and watch it. Maybe record some footage, and then I'll put together something, maybe. We'll see. Alright. Not very much in the way of big third-party announcements. That is sad. No Resident Evil. Nothing from Capcom, and nothing from, like, not Capcom. I mean, the first-party stuff is definitely cool, but we need more than just first-party stuff. Because the Nintendo diehards are definitely going to get these Nintendo games, but the people who are not diehard Nintendo fans, they're going to want reason other than Mario to get a Switch. They're going to want to have reason to play all of their games on the Switch. Otherwise, PlayStation 4 has more of the games they want. They're going to stick with PlayStation 4. If Nintendo Switch had not only Nintendo games, but also a buttload of big third-party IPs, it would be the go-to system. But as it stands, it's still just the go-to system for Nintendo diehards, and that is unfortunate. Still, though, as a diehard Nintendo fan myself, I am definitely impressed with what they displayed. What was it? Kirby? They announced Kirby. They announced Metroid Prime 4. That is a big deal. Even bigger deal, of course, was the fact that the Pokemon company, Game Freak, are definitely confirmed to be working on a mainline Pokemon game for the Switch. Goodbye 3DS, goodbye needing to own more than one Nintendo console to play all the Nintendo games. And of course, Mario Galaxy is, oh my gosh, what? And apparently, the random mentioning of Animal Crossing was just a random mentioning in the chat, so that's unfortunate. Although it could still be announced in the Treehouse, and if it is, that would be cool. As long as we can finally play as an animal. I lost interest in the series because you're always playing as just a human when there's so many animal possibilities. Imagine an Animal Crossing game where you have an assortment of animal characters that you could play as, and that would be cool. I'm assuming that some of the games we just saw will also be in the Treehouse. Like, they have to show off more Mario Odyssey. They showed off a lot, but not a lot at the same time. They gave us just enough to be excited about without actually explaining anything. So I'm definitely going to be looking forward to kind of checking that stuff out. It almost would be worth reacting to that part of the Treehouse just because of how cool this is suddenly looking, but no, not a live reaction. A post-thoughts sort of thing is what I will probably do. With that said, it'll probably be a bit before I get this video edited and uploaded, because gotta watch that Treehouse stuff. Anyway, for those of you who don't care about the Treehouse stuff, check out the rest of my stuff on this channel. I've just started an RPG Maker 2 game called Variant, and it is looking pretty cool. It uses a custom action battle system sort of thing. It's definitely something that's interesting. And I am also playing a Zelda game, which I will not be specific about, but aside from the fact that it involves Link being turned into a rabbit, and it has been pretty interesting. Meanwhile, on my Twitch channel, I have a Twitch channel by the way, I am currently finishing up a playthrough of Pokémon Yellow, in which instead of being the trainer, I will instead, or am being instead, one of the trainer's Pokémon. I am a Nidoran. After I'm done with Pokémon Yellow, I'm going to be taking part in the Final Fantasy V 4-Job Fiesta, which is a charity event. It's going to be my first time taking part of that. It is a challenge run of Final Fantasy V, so definitely check that out. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and end this video, start watching the Treehouse stuff. I'll edit and put together this video when I have the chance, And yeah, look forward to more E3 stuff, because I certainly am.